1, 2, and... The glowing sun ignites the trees on the hillside. Wandering down this road, going for a long drive. Let's take a break from everything that we know. The wheels keep on turning, take us through the unknown. Leave our fears and doubt back where we started. Feels like I've been dreaming ever since we departed. Keep the faith, believe what's down inside. I wanna strive to thrive for as long as I'm alive. I feel the sun is shining on my face. Something familiar leads me back to that place. Every day an opportunity for us to make it. Feeling good about the ones that we are taking. Yes, bless the world with no stress. And can I imagine nothing less. Indeed, the need for us to be supreme and plant the seeds to follow our dreams to be anything we wanna in life. And no matter where you were brought up in life, and take it all in. Let's put our best foot forward. Now's the time. This is our calling.
I'm interested in Santa Barbara because honestly, this area, just in terms of climate, is like nowhere else. It's this sort of gentle, slightly humid air that kind of tickles your skin. It's just a cool kind of vibe. Less traffic, I would say, which is another thing. And obviously, you have this beautiful coastline that faces south. The sun's actually going over the end of the beach rather than the water, so you get this crazy light. I also love Santa Barbara because it's home to one of my favorite coffee shops and good friend Ryan Petronik, owner and creator of Cajé Coffee.
I'm a Q grader, yes. It's like a sommelier of coffee. Leave a Q for quality. This is what a lot of older crowds like because it's roasted.
Because I'm old.
It's roasted real dark.
Yeah.
So it's for the people
I'm
that...
not so into the Ethiopian one though.
That's because that has the most acidity, and you don't like acidity. You basically like just chocolatey flavors and sometimes sweet flavors, but no acidity.
Sounds right.
South American coffees are the best. The Cajé story begins back in probably 1998 when I was in high school still, and I was looking to find a business to get into. And back then, there wasn't that much of that good coffee, so it was old traditional style where everything was roasted too dark.
Yeah.
Which is the way you like it, but
yeah,
it's too dark.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, one more. I gotta get one more. I already started eating this one.
This is Rocco's favorite. He has these every time he comes to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
We call it the Burnout. It's a bourbon pecan breve cappuccino with activated charcoal and sea salt on the rim. That's called the Yemen. Yemen is where the term mocha came from, so that's why I named it the Yemen. It's kind of a coconut milk mocha, basically. So those flowers,
I was gonna cheers.
They're dried.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got sweet condensed milk, coconut milk, normal milk. So early on, I started making all our syrups in the very beginning because I've never liked drinking corn syrup and bad ingredients. I started out Instagramming people and influencers and write-ups, and Forbes interviewed me, USA Today.
Well, you're a handsome devil as well.
That really helps.
Yeah, it does help a lot. Fundamentally, if you hadn't started with putting so much time and effort in your creativity into these, you would never have had that interest in the product that you created. So I feel like your intention was right.
I mean, it's now been 20 years I've been in coffee, and you always want to grow and get better at what you're doing. And if I just sat idle with a thing that I created in the beginning, a basic coffee shop, then I would be bored with it. So I have to push forward and try to become more elite in my field. Yeah, I source all the beans, I sample roast everything. I'm constantly testing coffees as part of my weekly duties.
Cool.
And it takes me, on average, I probably test 30 coffees before I pick one. I'm separating myself from other coffee shops, and at the same time, I'm securing my own future. Because what the amount of effort and difficulty it takes to come up with these types of drinks, I would say every one of these we create, I've put the same effort forth in opening a new store. I'm putting in R&D and I'm filing patents left and right. If you don't use your time wisely and continue to push forward, you will just be eaten by your creative competitors, I feel like. And I think I've finally, over time, created a very unique concept.
Speaking of creating a unique concept over time, our next stop in Santa Barbara is to meet with Alan Macy, co-founder of the incredible Shiftwave chair. He's based at the Santa Barbara Center of Art, Science, and Technology.
This is an art project. Lean back and relax. Just relax for a bit. Takes a while to figure you out. Different heartbeats, that's yours. It's being expressed as this tone of the zither. Okay, and I'll put mine in here. This one's called the Autonomic Orchestra. It's like, what is just your body doing? And then expressing that in a kind of tonal form. This is designed to be a live-work arts community, and it's called the Santa Barbara Center for Art, Science, and Technology.
Yeah.
And so it's a kind of incubator,
Right.
and it's also a spot where artists, scientists, and technologists can come, and they overlap here. And so there's chance encounters, and different projects get imagined. You know, artists and scientists, they both like to express. Scientists like to express experiences, and artists like to express feelings.
Right.
Both artists and scientists are really interested in tech
Right.
to allow them to do that work
Yeah.
in a kind of faithful way.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the binding element.
So where we are in the desert, we're sort of focused on bringing people together to make music and giving them that space to find the space between the notes.
That's a beautiful offering. Shiftwave, it was incubated here at SBcast, and North and I started working on that pre-COVID, and it was just kind of, we didn't really kind of know what we were doing. Well, we can make all these measurements, but how do we employ these measurements in order to affect well-being?
Right. Yeah.
And so Shiftwave grew out of that impulse.
And so the chair itself interacts with those systems.
Yeah, the Shiftwave speaks the language of the autonomic nervous system very well.
The people that have experienced the chair on my end, largely creatives. Do you want to try out something really cool?
Of course. No.
North always described it as a sort of accelerated meditation, that if you had this state of a triangle being the top of your consciousness and it taking time to relax and find that sort of more meditative state, that Shiftwave just goes straight through the bottom of it and kind of takes you into that and you're just immediately, you're like, that's what I need. Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Shiftwave is a kind of shortcut or a hack. You're also speaking in a really intelligent way to the autonomic nervous system, and what you're doing is you're arranging it and you're setting boundaries for it, and it's basically an autonomic nervous system exercise, and which results in a resiliency and robustness, and readiness. You're just ready for different things. My opinion is that the highest best use for the technology is for individuals that are suffering from PTSD.
Right.
That would be a very good use of the tech, really appropriate and spot on.
Yeah.
The other circumstance, which nearly is right in there, would be individuals who are first responders.
Right.
So they're exposed to a lot of stimulus, and they would often be out of regulation, and it would be a way for them to just kind of stop the planning and the readiness and be focused a little bit more on the present moment and have an experience where their autonomic nervous system is more freely ranging. So we have many systems in Ukraine, mostly at the psychiatric hospitals, primarily Lviv, but then also some on the front lines there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So
that's again sort of cutting edge technology already being deployed into places where it matters, which again is why I admire these guys outside of them being my friends. But just to have that dedication to something and then make it practical for everyone is what we're all about.
Please hit subscribe to be notified when our next episode goes live, to join us on an incredible trip to South America.